Adam22 has weathered numerous storms throughout his career. However, the recent developments have escalated beyond anything we've seen before.
So there's something that I've been hiding from you guys. No Jumper is going broke.
But Adam22 has even worse issues on his plate as ex-employees are filing a lawsuit on sexual harassment. He could lose not just his business, but potentially his freedom. The allegations. Let's start by breaking down the shocking announcement that came directly from Adam22 himself in early April 2025. In what can only be described as a brutally honest confession, Adam revealed to his audience that No Jumper, despite its massive following and cultural impact, is facing dire financial straits.
So there's something that I've been hiding from you guys. No Jumper is going broke. How could we be going broke? Well, let's start here. We expanded too much during COVID at just about the exact moment that our revenue streams all took a hit. We hired a whole bunch of editors and other employees, and we bought a huge office building that cost us almost $4 million, thinking that the growth that we were experiencing during the pandemic was going to continue. And unfortunately, that did not happen.
This stunning revelation left many fans in disbelief. After all, No Jumper boasts an impressive digital footprint, with millions of views across their YouTube channels monthly. How could such a seemingly successful media operation be on the brink of financial collapse? Adam went on to explain that the company's expansion during the COVID-19 pandemic, including the purchase of a $4 million facility, coincided with an unexpected downturn in revenue streams across various platforms. The investment in a large office space and additional staff was based on projections that pandemic-era growth would continue, which unfortunately did not materialize. This financial strain was further exacerbated by two significant setbacks that Adam described as two major L's. The first was the unexplained loss of No Jumper's Instagram account, which had been built up over nearly a decade and represented a substantial source of revenue through sponsored posts. Despite reaching out to numerous Instagram recovery specialists, the account remains inaccessible, with some reports suggesting that there might be a note on the account preventing its recovery.
All that stuff hurt the business, but we were still solidly profitable. That is, until the last few months, where we experienced two major L's that we never could have seen coming. First, we lost the No Jumper Instagram. After almost 10 years of building it up and essentially no strikes on our account, we got taken down one day and we still have absolutely no idea why. We've had no luck getting it back despite being in contact with what seems like every Instagram recovery guy on the face of the planet. We were bringing in a very solid amount of cash monthly that was keeping us afloat via selling sponsored posts on the account, and that mostly vanished overnight.
But it's the second L that has truly sent shockwaves through the community and forms the core of our investigation today. A lawsuit filed by former No Jumper employees that Adam has characterized as a bullshit lawsuit and an extortion attempt. According to his public statements, this legal battle has already cost the company a significant amount of money and is expected to cost many hundreds of thousands of dollars to resolve completely.
And second, in addition to that, we have been hit with a bullshit lawsuit from a former employee. Now, essentially everything in this lawsuit is completely fictional, and every lawyer that I've spoken to about it has described this as basically an extortion attempt, but it still cost us a ton of money already, and it's expected to cost us many hundreds of thousands of dollars to see this through to completion.
The lawsuit in question was filed by two former No Jumper employees, Yuri Alimbayev, known online as Harmonious Yuri, and Riley Garcia. Court documents filed in Los Angeles County Superior Courts on January 15, 2025, named No Jumper LLC, Adam Grand Maison, Josh Mannheim, and Nicholas Hyams as defendants. The case falls under labor and employment law for wrongful termination and includes allegations of workplace misconduct, discrimination, harassment, and retaliation. To fully understand the gravity of this situation, we need to delve deeper into the relationship between Adam22 and the plaintiffs, particularly Yuri. According to multiple sources, Yuri was once considered Adam's protege, starting as someone who simply hung around the No Jumper office before eventually securing employment as an editor. Over time, he worked his way up and became part of the content creation team, appearing on camera and building his own audience through the No Jumper platform. What makes this lawsuit particularly intriguing is the stark contrast between Adam's characterization of the allegations as completely fictional and the plaintiff's claims of a hostile work environment. In his response to the lawsuit, Adam has emphasized that any disrespectful behavior occurred after the plaintiffs left No Jumper, not during their employment.
Relatively sparse. And this is what I picked up on from speaking to my lawyers about the Yuri and Riley situation and the lawsuit that they have filed against me.
You do, right?
And him, and for some reason Josh is even thrown into it, which is kind of baffling.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, so including in this lawsuit and things that were specified in it, it's like 90% things that took place after they stopped working here. Now, you can't, like, all that is irrelevant. Anything that we said about them after they left could only be part of a lawsuit if it was basically defamation. Now, the standard for defamation is very, very high. So for sure, we've said things about them that probably would sort of enter into that realm because we have said some pretty crazy shit about them. But that being said, you have to prove damages. It's very, very difficult. So 90% of the shit in that lawsuit is bull for it to be included in this lawsuit, because timeline wise, all that happened after they left. A sexual harassment or unlawful termination or whatever lawsuit is only going to be able to address things that took place while these people worked here.
Adding another layer of complexity to this legal drama is the timing of Riley Garcia's termination from No Jumper. The lawsuit claims she was terminated in March 2023 after complaining about sexual harassment, discrimination, and retaliation. However, Adam contends that her layoff coincided with a broader downsizing at No Jumper following a major internal conflict that resulted in approximately 8 hosts leaving the platform simultaneously.
So either of them saying that they were unlawfully terminated. Think about this. She was terminated at the same time that like 8 hosts left the platform, maybe more, maybe 10 people left the platform,
including the tech staff. It was like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And that's just hosts.
Right.
We got rid of like 4 editors.
Right.
At like the same time.
Designers.
She was an administrative assistant. We did not hire another administrative assistant after we fired her. She was fired 100% because of the fact that we were downsizing.
This mass exodus of talent in March 2023 followed a public falling out between Adam and another prominent No Jumper personality known as AD. According to accounts from that time, AD left after feeling betrayed when he discovered through a leaked Discord message that Adam was considering removing him from certain shows. AD's departure, along with several other hosts who left with him, reportedly led to a significant drop in viewership and revenue, necessitating layoffs across the company. As for Yuri, his situation appears even more complicated. While the lawsuit claims he quit No Jumper because he could no longer tolerate the harassment, discrimination, and retaliation, previously recorded statements from Yuri himself suggest a different motivation for his departure. In various clips, Yuri has stated that he left No Jumper to focus on his streaming career after seeing success with extended live streams, including a 30-day subathon that reportedly earned him between $20,000 and $30,000.
Okay, yeah, so basically I was still working there behind the scenes, doing all that stuff at that point there. And it got to a point where I did the Gulag stream. I did a couple 24-hour streams. I think I did the 5-day stream. And I was like getting so much support and growth on my streams in the YouTube channel. And this was honestly, even before No Jumper, this was like my main goal, which is like, you know, to try to become a content creator of some sort. I was doing daily vlogs for a long time. I did a bunch of other different vlogs and then at a certain point I was getting like so much support from the Harmonies gang, from you guys, that I was just like, all right, like, you know, I feel like I can't squander this opportunity. Like I gotta, like, you know, take advantage of this as much as I can. Opportunity of like what's happening at the moment. So I was like, bro, I gotta double down and see what I can do with this. And for a while I was like really thinking. I was like talking to Blasey, talking to Riley when I was working at No Jumper full time doing the editing stuff. I was like, bro, like it's scary to leave a consistent paycheck every month for who knows what.
Further complicating matters are allegations from the No Jumper community that Yuri was actually fired for theft, with some Reddit users claiming he stole clothes and marijuana from the company. Comments like, wait till they mention Yuri was fired for stealing clothes and weed, appear in discussions about the lawsuit, though these claims remain unverified. The lawsuit has evidently taken a significant financial toll on No Jumper, leading to drastic measures including layoffs and the potential sale of their warehouse. Adam has expressed confidence that once the building is sold, the business will be in a pretty solid financial position again, but the immediate future remains uncertain. What's particularly striking about this legal battle is how it has divided the No Jumper community. On Reddit, the reaction to the lawsuit has been predominantly skeptical, with many users dismissing the claims as financially motivated. Comments like, they're broke LOL and good luck to them, but I think this is going to cost them more money than they'll get, reflect a sentiment that Yuri and Riley are pursuing the lawsuit out of financial desperation rather than legitimate grievances. However, not all fans have been quick to side with Adam 22. Some have expressed support for Yuri and Riley, emphasizing the seriousness of workplace harassment and the importance of holding powerful powerful figures accountable. This polarization within the community speaks to the complex dynamics at play and the deeply personal nature of this conflict. As the legal proceedings continue to unfold, one thing has become abundantly clear. This lawsuit represents more than just a financial challenge for Adam 22 and No Jumper. It's a pivotal moment that could potentially reshape the future of one of hip-hop media's most influential platforms. But just as this legal drama was intensifying, another bombshell dropped that would further complicate Adam 22's situation and raise even more questions about his future. Reports began circulating that Adam 22 had been arrested in connection with a federal investigation, adding yet another layer to this already complex saga. The arrest. The story of Adam 22's legal troubles took an even more dramatic turn in late March 2025 when reports began emerging about his possible arrest. On March 26th, music executive Wack 100 made a shocking announcement during a podcast that federal agents had taken Adam 22 into custody that morning. This revelation quickly spread across social media platforms, with numerous accounts sharing clips of Wack 100's statements.
What's up, man? I just called my attorney. Try to get him down there so Adam don't be doing no telling, bro.
Man, they saying Adam locked up all on the blogs. What's going on?
They came to got him this morning, bro. They doubled back. They came by there. We try and have him out because he's supposed to go live today, right?
Yeah, he's supposed to go live at 4 p.m. And the crazy thing is, Adam texted me.
They're going to have him out by like 2:30. If we can get him out by 2:30, he can still make it to the building.
The news sent shockwaves through the hip-hop media landscape, with fans and industry insiders alike scrambling to understand what was happening. According to Wack 100, efforts were already underway to secure Adam 22's release, with an attorney named Alex Kessel reportedly working to have him out by 2:30 p.m. that same day, potentially in time for his scheduled live stream at 4 p.m.
Listen, bro. I sent Alex Kessel down there. He said he gonna have him out by 2:30, right? He ain't got no nothing. He's not, he ain't no flight risk or nothing. I didn't need to, I said, Alex, just use whatever, he said, nah, he got everything he needs for this portfolio. So, he should be free by 2:30. And, that means he should make it back. What time is he supposed to go live today?
While Wack 100 didn't explicitly state the reason for Adam 22's alleged arrest, his comments hinted at a connection to a broader federal investigation. This arrest was reportedly linked to a RICO, Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act case involving Eugene Big U Henley, a prominent music executive and former gang leader. The connection between Adam 22 and this RICO case appears to stem from the appearances of certain individuals on the No Jumper platform. Two regular co-hosts, identified as Brick Baby and Loose Cannon, had previously been arrested as part of the same investigation. This led to speculation that the No Jumper podcast may have played a role in the federal case, potentially serving as a platform for activities under investigation.
Well, no, he just said 2:30 at the latest. So I'm telling them, I'm telling them ASAP. I don't want bro sitting there a second he don't have to, but they own him about something, bro. I don't know what they own him about, but they own him about something. And I don't know if they was trying to get something out of him, but I'm pretty sure come 4 o'clock, he gonna be here. My attorney assured me that they're gonna definitely have him at 2:30 at the latest. So he'll be here at 4 o'clock. I'm pretty sure he's gonna have a lot to say.
The timing of this reported arrest is particularly significant, coming just as Adam 22 was publicly addressing the financial challenges faced by No Jumper due to the lawsuit from former employees. This convergence of legal issues raised questions about whether these were separate problems or potentially interconnected in some way. It's worth noting that prior to these reports of an arrest, Adam 22 had publicly addressed rumors connecting him to the federal investigation. On March 20th, 2025, the official No Jumper account on X, formerly Twitter, posted a statement denying any cooperation with federal authorities following the arrests of co-hosts. This suggests that Adam 22 was aware of the investigation and its potential implications for his platform before any alleged arrest took place. However, the situation became even more complex when Adam 22 himself weighed in on the controversy following Brick Baby's arrest. In a video statement, he forcefully rejected accusations that his platform had contributed to the legal troubles of his associate.
See a lot of people saying that 22 is the reason why Brick got caught up. Get out of here. 22, you know what I do. I put people in position, put them on the podcast, give them jobs, help them make legal money. A lot of the people are getting caught up for, especially with Brick. It's like, I'm not seeing anything that says anything about stuff that he's done in the last 2 years since he's been with us, right? So, end of the day, I do employ people from the streets. And I guess, people from the streets sometimes get caught up in federal RICO indictments, whatever this is. And all I can say is that, yes, I may crack a joke here and there. Sorry, that's just my sick sense of humor. But end of the day, that's my boy. I'm standing with him. Luce, I got love for Luce too. We're going to be documenting this whole thing, helping him along the way, whatever it is. So anybody acting like this is because of No Jumper? No, No Jumper was the antidote to this bullshit.
In this impassioned defense, Adam 22A portrayed No Jumper as a positive influence that provided legitimate employment opportunities for individuals from troubled backgrounds. He framed his platform as the antidote to street life rather than a contributing factor to illegal activities. This narrative directly contradicts any suggestion that No Jumper might have been implicated in the RICO investigation. The public reaction to the news of Adam 22's alleged arrest was as divided as the response to the lawsuit from former employees. On X, users expressed a range of emotions from shock and curiosity to a certain level of expectation, with some suggesting that Adam 22 had long been involved in some sketchy stuff. This mixed response reflects the controversial nature of Adam 22's public persona and the polarizing effect he has had throughout his career. It's important to acknowledge that despite the widespread reporting of Adam 22's arrest, formal charges were not immediately made public, and questions remained about the exact nature of his involvement in the federal investigation. This lack of official confirmation contributed to the swirling speculation and uncertainty surrounding the situation. The reported arrest came at a particularly challenging time for Adam 22, not only because of the ongoing lawsuit from former employees, but also in the wake of other controversies. In February 2025, just a month before the alleged arrest, Adam 22 had faced backlash over his involvement in a cryptocurrency venture that crashed dramatically after initial success. This meme coin on the Solana blockchain reportedly grew from a $500,000 market cap to $4 million within hours before collapsing to around $100,000 after early investors sold their holdings. The cryptocurrency project was labeled a potential pump and dump scam by journalist CoffeeZilla, who released screenshots suggesting Adam 22 had knowingly misled his fans. This controversy not only damaged Adam 22's reputation, but potentially exposed him to additional legal and financial risks, compounding the pressure he was already facing. Despite these mounting challenges, Adam 22 has maintained a significant net worth, estimated at around $4 million as of early 2025. This financial cushion, along with diverse income streams including his Plug Talk podcast on OnlyFans, potentially provides some buffer against his current legal troubles. However, the combined impact of the lawsuit costs, potential legal fees related to any federal investigation, and the ongoing financial struggles of No Jumper raises serious questions about his long-term stability. The Plug Talk podcast, co-hosted with his wife Lena the Plug, has been particularly lucrative, reportedly earning between $200,000 and $500,000 monthly through OnlyFans subscriptions. This substantial income source could potentially help offset the financial impact of No Jumper's troubles, providing Adam 22 with a financial lifeline during this turbulent period. But what would happen to No Jumper if Adam 22 faced serious legal consequences? And perhaps most importantly, what truth lay beneath the swirling rumors and allegations? To answer these questions, we need to examine the broader context of Adam 22's career, the structure of his business operations, and the potential paths forward in the face of these mounting legal challenges. The future. As we navigate through the complex web of legal troubles surrounding Adam 22 and No Jumper, it's essential to consider what the future might hold for both the man and the media empire he's built. Despite the alarming headlines suggesting a definitive sentencing and a permanent goodbye, the reality is far more nuanced and remains largely unresolved as of early April 2025. Let's first address the financial outlook for No Jumper, which Adam 22 himself has described as going broke. The company's financial struggles stem from a perfect storm of challenges: the post-pandemic normalization of viewership numbers, the loss of their Instagram account and associated revenue, the exodus of popular hosts in March 2023, and most significantly, the costly lawsuit from former employees Yuri and Riley. In response to these financial pressures, Adam 22 has implemented several strategic measures to stabilize the business. These include laying off staff, closing their Melrose store, and putting their warehouse up for sale with plans to relocate to a smaller, more cost-effective space. He's also exploring new revenue streams, such as enhanced YouTube membership tiers, to offset the losses from traditional sources.
The employee who sued No Jumper was this guy called Yuri. Now, this is like the betrayal of the century. This is like E2 Brute. Like this is some scandalous stuff. So Yuri was essentially Adam's protege, right? Somebody who Adam molded into a content creator, who started off as somebody who was just hanging around the office, eventually got a job as an editor, and he sort of worked his way up and used No Jumper as kind of like a trampoline to get into his own thing. So Yuri left No Jumper initially. He left No Jumper because he did like a 30-day live stream, like a subathon, and he made like $20,000 to $30,000. So he thought he wanted to put more attention into his streams, right? He wanted to put more into his streams. So he left No Jumper for that reason. But then after he left No Jumper, I guess things didn't work out. So he decided he wanted to sue No Jumper.
Current No Jumper employee Flacco provided insights into the company's resilience despite these challenges, expressing confidence that the core team will remain committed regardless of financial compensation. In his words, "I would do No Jumper for free. That's how much value I see in No Jumper," suggesting that the platform's cultural significance transcends its immediate financial struggles.
Right, bro, I would do No Jumper for free if I was, you feel me, right? Like, I would do it for free, right? Like that's how much value I see in No Jumper, right, bro? I moved to LA to do No Jumper for free, right? I literally moved here to do No Jumper for free. And then I was offered a contract when I was at my lowest, and No Jumper gave me something that was really great, and I grew with the company, and now I'm currently in a position where I employ other people myself. So yeah, man, this really don't really change anything. We'll still be there. I'll still be there. You feel me? Rather it's I'm being paid $500K a year or I'm being paid $0 a year. You feel me? I'm here. You feel me? Those are my guys I'm rocking out, man.
As for the lawsuit itself, legal experts weighing in on the situation have offered mixed assessments. Adam22 claims that every lawyer he's spoken to has described the lawsuit as basically an extortion attempt, suggesting that the legal community views the allegations skeptically. However, without direct access to the legal opinions or case documents, it's difficult to evaluate the merit of these claims objectively. What complicates matters further is the revelation that Yuri and Riley are allegedly under non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, with No Jumper, which Adam22 claims they have violated by making public statements about the company. This could potentially lead to a countersuit, as Adam22 has mentioned that it's certainly on the table because they're under NDA, and they have said some absolutely horrible things about myself, about No Jumper.
Well, let's just talk about the odd inclusion of Nicholas Hyams in this lawsuit. Let's talk about the fact that I was unaware until I saw this lawsuit that I was in a managerial capacity at No Jumper in any way, and I was able to determine hiring and firing, and I was a superior, as stated in the lawsuit, to Mr. Yakubowski and Miss Garcia. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's crazy.
Because I was today years old when I realized that. If I had known sooner, there probably would have been a little bit of different things that would have gone down. Now, with that being said, also,
bros.
Yeah, the biggest. I'm also a little bit confused about me when Yuri specifically invited me to his house.
The financial impact of this legal battle cannot be overstated. Adam22 has indicated that it has cost us a ton of money already and is expected to cost us many hundreds of thousands of dollars to see this through to completion. This financial burden, combined with the other challenges facing No Jumper, has created a precarious situation that threatens the company's survival in its current form. However, it's important to distinguish between No Jumper's financial troubles and Adam22's personal financial status. Despite the company's struggles, Adam22's personal net worth is estimated at approximately $4 million as of early 2025, with projections suggesting a potential increase to $4.1 million by the end of the year. This substantial personal wealth, combined with income from ventures like Plug Talk, suggests that Adam22 himself is not broke, even if his company is facing significant financial challenges. As for the reports of Adam22's arrest in connection with a federal RICO case, the situation remains somewhat unclear. While WAC 100's statement suggested that Adam22 was taken into custody on March 26, 2025, there has been limited official confirmation of these claims. According to Newsweek, no formal charges were immediately made public, leaving room for speculation about the exact nature and extent of Adam22's involvement in the federal investigation. What is known is that federal agents reportedly visited Adam22's home in connection with the RICO case against Eugene Big U Henley, which includes charges of racketeering and murder. The connection to No Jumper appears to stem from appearances by arrested co-hosts like Brick Baby and Loose Cannon, suggesting that the platform may have inadvertently provided visibility for individuals under federal investigation. In addressing these connections, Adam22 has maintained that No Jumper serves as a positive influence, providing legitimate employment opportunities rather than facilitating criminal activities. His statement that No Jumper was the antidote to this bull's represents an attempt to distance his platform from any alleged illegal activities of its guests or contributors. The convergence of these legal challenges, the civil lawsuit from former employees, and the potential connection to a federal RICO investigation creates an unprecedented level of pressure on Adam 22 and No Jumper. However, it's crucial to note that as of early April 2025, there have been no confirmed reports of Adam 22 being sentenced to any form of punishment that would necessitate a goodbye forever, as some sensationalist headlines might suggest. This brings us to an important discussion about the various potential outcomes for Adam 22 and No Jumper based on the available information. Scenario 1 involves Adam 22 successfully resolving both legal challenges with minimal long-term damage. Under this scenario, the lawsuit from Uri and Riley could be dismissed or settled for a manageable amount, while any connection to the federal RICO case might be determined to be peripheral or coincidental. This would allow Adam 22 to focus on rebuilding No Jumper financially, potentially through the sale of their current property and a strategic downsizing of operations. A second possibility is that while Adam 22 personally avoids serious legal consequences, No Jumper, as a business entity, faces insurmountable financial pressures. This could lead to a significant transformation of the platform, perhaps through a sale or restructuring. In fact, media personality DJ Vlad has already publicly suggested the possibility of purchasing No Jumper, to which Adam 22 responded with hostile takeover, likely in a sarcastic tone. While this exchange appears to have been somewhat tongue-in-cheek, it highlights the potential for major changes in No Jumper's ownership structure. A third, more concerning scenario would involve substantive legal consequences for Adam 22 personally, either from the civil lawsuit, the federal investigation, or both. However, even in this scenario, it's important to recognize that Adam 22 has proven remarkably resilient throughout his career, weathering numerous controversies and setbacks without permanent damage to his public platform. One factor that may significantly influence the outcome is Adam 22's diverse business portfolio beyond No Jumper. His Plug Talk podcast on OnlyFans, reportedly earning between $200,000 and $500,000 monthly, represents a substantial income stream independent of No Jumper's financial challenges. This financial diversification could provide a cushion against the worst-case scenarios for the No Jumper platform. Looking beyond the immediate legal and financial challenges, it's worth considering the broader impact of these developments on Adam 22's legacy in hip-hop media. Since founding No Jumper, Adam 22 has played a pivotal role in elevating underground artists and providing a platform for voices that might otherwise go unheard in mainstream media. Rolling Stone has described him as underground hip-hop's major tastemaker, acknowledging his significant influence on the culture despite his controversial persona. The potential diminishment or transformation of No Jumper would create a void in the hip-hop media landscape that would likely be filled by other platforms and personalities. This transition, while potentially disruptive in the short term, might ultimately lead to a more diverse and resilient ecosystem of hip-hop media, with multiple platforms sharing the influence that No Jumper has largely consolidated. For the former employees involved in the lawsuit against Adam 22, the outcomes are similarly uncertain. If, as many Reddit users have suggested, the lawsuit is primarily financially motivated due to Uri's struggling streaming career, then its success or failure could significantly impact their future prospects. A successful lawsuit might provide a financial windfall, but could potentially limit future opportunities in the industry due to concerns about litigation risk. Conversely, an unsuccessful lawsuit might exacerbate existing financial challenges while also damaging their reputations within the community. Time will tell. For now, though, hit this video on your screen to find out what that's about.